Good morning, everyone. This is Kimberly Dixon, a Joyful Living Life Coach. I don't know if anybody will actually join us this morning because it is Monday morning and it's the middle of the work day for a lot of people. So give it just a few seconds to see if anybody's going to come in because I myself am working. We'll just hang tight here just for a moment. And I didn't really, I tagged a few people, but nowhere near the normal, the number that I would normally tag, because again, I'm working. But I wanted to take a minute. Hang on, let me finish what I'm doing. Okay, so yesterday, good morning. I don't know who's joined us, but I can see somebody's watching. So I wanted to take a minute to just talk with everybody. I wasn't going to get on today. I was going to go social media blackout because, like many people, I'm hurting right now. But as a Joyful Living Life Coach, and I just didn't want to keep seeing the story of the tragic death of the 9 people, including Kobe Bryant and Gigi, because I've been a Kobe fan since he was a 17-year-old straight out of high school. But so I was going to do a social media blackout. But this is what I realized. This is the time when people need to hear from me. This is when people need to be uplifted and to have some joy. Good morning, Stephanie. So I wanted to just talk to everybody just a minute because I know the country as a whole, not just the country, but the world is hurting right now because we see our movie stars and our sports legends as like superheroes. They are people that are unimaginable, and when something happens to them, it can knock the wind out of us because they are bigger than life. Good morning, Cornelius. They are bigger than life to us. So it is at these times that you need to hear from people like me and others that will help us get through these times. If y'all hear that sound in the background, no, I don't have a small baby in my home. It's my cat. She sounds like a baby when she meows. But I want to talk to everybody just a minute to help you to remain joyful during this troubling time and to help us keep our joy because it can, tragedy, we don't understand it. It's painful, and it can often make us question everything, not just what's going on in this moment, but everything in this world, because this place that we're living in, this journey called life, it can be disheartening sometimes, and we can struggle with the things that happen. So I want to give you a couple tips this morning on how to keep your joy in the middle of tragedy. And this ain't just for you, this is for me. I have to do it every time something happens. But first and foremost, when something of this nature happens or anything in your day-to-day life happens, first we got to turn towards God. Seek ye first the kingdom of God and all his righteousness, and all these things will be added unto you. Well, the things, most of the times people equate the things with material possessions. What can I hold? What can I buy? What can I get? But the things that God is talking about is love, peace, and joy. So when we are going through tragedy, we got to seek him. We got to keep turning our face to him because we're not going to understand this. Kobe was bigger than life. 41 years old. It doesn't make sense. Good morning, Tony. Good morning, Hugh. It doesn't make sense. It's never going to make sense to us. But we have to turn to God when we are struggling with things of this physical things, carnal things, things of this world. We have to turn to him for the peace, for the joy, because trying to understand it, there is no understanding for what Gigi was going to be his legacy. She was a basketball player, and I remember hearing Kobe doing an interview, and somebody told him that he needed to have a son so that his legacy could continue, and she spoke up and said, no, he didn't. I got this. She was that kind of person where she was bigger than life herself already as a young child. So this doesn't make sense to us. So we have to turn towards God. And we also have to realize that life is going to be full of ups and downs. We're not going to be happy right now. Happiness is an emotion, but it is fleeting because it is emotion. We're going to be happy sometimes. We're going to be sad sometimes. And in a moment like this, it's hard to feel happy when your heart is cracking open. I'm just going to be honest with you. My heart is breaking. Good morning, Judy. But I wanted to encourage everybody to seek peace through God, and also understand that in life, there are going to be happy times. There are going to be sad times. But if we keep turning towards Him, God will give us something that's deeper than happiness, and something that will keep us when we're sad. And that is your joy. So, because joy is different. Joy is something that resides on the inside of you. And when we're talking about things of happiness and sadness, a lot of times that's based on external circumstances. But if you have that joy, whatever's going on in this world, it won't take that from you. And then another way to keep finding your joy in the middle of stuff like this is to look for those activities that bring you the most peace. So those of you that have been following me for a moment have heard me talk about that when I was dealing with chronic pain, I had to fight for my joy. Good morning, Lake. I had to fight for it second by second, minute by minute. And that means I had to seek it diligently, even when I didn't want to. So last night, I talked to my dad, y'all, and I was doing fine up until that point. You know, managing pretty well, but he's been a Laker fan as long as I've been alive. So when I heard his voice, lost it. So I had to actively seek the joy. And that meant I went outside. It was dark. So for me, my joy comes from being in nature. So I went outside. It wasn't cold. And I listened to the sounds of nature and talked to God about the things. So today, you need to do something that will actively activate your joy, whether that is write some poetry, listen to some music. Music is a big thing for me. I always, when I'm feeling sad, if I listen to some piano worship, or I listen to some, whatever my favorite songs throughout history, it might be old school hip hop, it might be an old classic gospel song, it may be anything, but music is one of those things that brings me joy. So when you are feeling sad, you can't just stay there, because otherwise it will be prolonged. But there are things that you can do. Listen to the music, write some poetry, go to do some painting, go to Authors and Arts. That's a shameless plug for Tara Henry. We partner on a lot of things. So I want go do some art today. But whatever you do, don't sit in that place of despair, because tragedies that affect the nation, that affect the world, they can suck the life out of you. So today, I want you to actively seek joy. I want you to actively seek God in everything. Don't try to understand it, because there is no understanding to this. It is heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking, not just for the Bryant family, because, you know, they were the most notable ones on the helicopter, but there are a lot of families that have been completely broken this morning. They don't know where to turn. So keep those families in prayer, because Kobe's wife, she lost a husband. She lost a child. Her kids, they lost their father. They lost their sister. And two of their children, they are so young. Good morning, Delsa. They are so young that they may not ever remember the Kobe that we have seen. They won't remember that. So keep those families lifted up in prayer, but also do things that continue to seek joy for yourself, because when you've got massive amounts of people that are feeling sadness and that are feeling broken, it has an effect. Just like random acts of kindness, when you pay it forward, it has an effect. Well, when there are mass amounts of people that are feeling just, whenever there's been a big tragedy or a mega star died, Prince, Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, all of those, the atmosphere was different. So today I want you to actively seek God. Find you a scripture, one that resonates with you. And whenever you feel your heart cracking open, recite it to yourself. Because I promise you, God is not going to leave you, and He is not going to forsake you. But in addition to that, Get up. Don't just sit in your sadness. Go actively do something that is going to bring, especially if he was one of your mentors, one of the people that had really been, good morning, Azira, that someone who has just really been a mentor to you and your children. If they've been watching Kobe, make sure today that you go do something with them that is going to lighten the mood, lighten the air, because the whole country feels heavy right now. So actively do something with them. Take them to the park. Take them to an art studio. Get them to do some drawing, whatever it may be, because we are all feeling this pain right now. And again, keep those families lifted up, because it wasn't just a Bryant family. The baseball coach from the college, I forget his name at this moment, but him, his wife, and his child. I don't know if they have other children, but there are whole families that have been shaken to their core this morning. We are all shaken, but remember those families, because this is somebody that we love, but we've never, some of us have met, most of us have never even met, most of us have never even seen other than on TV. But this is somebody who was living, breathing, a part of their everyday life. They need us right now. So lift them up in prayer. So do these two things today. Turn towards God, and then go out and actively seek your joy through activities, so that we can all get through this. So guys, thank you for watching. I just wanted to give you a couple little tips this morning, not just for you, but for me too, because I'm feeling this too. So guys, have a great day. I love you. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.